I don't even know what the hell's going on with this damn thing. Hey, what's going on, boys and girls? It's Gabe Slimer, Christopher James. I'm here live in Tampa, Florida tonight, man. The green screen is freaking out on me. I don't know why, but whatever. Because in a minute, we're not even going to see any of this shit, but we are going to see a guy who I think is fucking awesome. I've known this kid forever. He started fighting with us at the XFC a long time ago. He was a wild card then, and he's certainly still a wild card now. He proved that this past Saturday night at UFC Florida in Jacksonville. Took on Darren the Damage Elkins, and he got himself a nice big win. Did a little showboating, a little talking, a little, he just ate the train. So we're going to bring him on for you right now. Let me get him on, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome into the studio, the one, the only, Nate, the Train Landwehr. What's up, man? Oh, same shit today. My studio thing is acting all crazy today. I don't know why, but whatever. Doesn't matter what I look like as long as we can see and hear you. So, first of all, man, congratulations on the big win. I know your first UFC fight didn't go the way you wanted, and shit like that happens to everybody. But I've known you a long time. You're just a cool cat, dude. You take a win, you take a loss. You're just happy to be there. I'm guessing, right?
Man, did you like the fight?
Good shit, bro.
Did you like the fight? That's all I'm gonna say. I mean,
I fucking love the fight. You did damage to damage.
Yeah, man. I was hitting them with some real shots out there, man.
Yeah, you definitely were, man. So before we get into that fight and all the stuff that you were doing in that fight, that's the crowd clapping for you that wasn't there Saturday night.
Yeah.
And this is the party you're going to have when it all gets back to action. But anyway, you got this call, and I know you didn't have a full camp for this fight because nobody had a full camp for these fights. I mean, that last week, these last three fights were fucking incredible. It was really a good time, and you got to be part of history.
Man, I think everybody's been grinding, man. Everybody's been grinding. Whoever said they're not training is probably lying, man.
Oh no. What I'm saying is, but you still didn't get a full camp in. I mean, you full camp means you get 8 to 10 weeks notice. You get to train and do it all. I know you were working out and staying in shape because you're Nate to train. That's what you do. But you didn't have a full fight camp. Nobody has. I mean, everybody that I've spoken to said haven't had a full fight camp. But like you said, we all been working because we knew these fights were coming.
Yeah.
So you get to your fight. First of all, you get to Jacksonville. Tell us about when you arrived in Jacksonville, taking the COVID test and all that. How was that for you?
Oh man, it was kind of weird, but it was cool that they taking all those protocols and whatnot to make everything safe. I was happy with it.
How was the thing up the nose?
Yeah, man, it felt like something I've never did no shit like that before.
I saw some videos. Cheeto Vera, when he went to go take the test, his manager Jason House had to hold his hand and hold his head steady because he kept moving. He was scared. It's so funny to see an athlete, especially a fighter, have something like that frighten them. The real fear came out of him. Jason House is holding his hand like this and holding his head here so he wouldn't move. It was a lot of fun. You didn't have any problem. You just took it. They stuck it up your nose and you moved on. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean it was just got to do it. It got done.
That's awesome. So, tell your first fight week was cool and everything. You took an L. So going into your second fight week, for you it's a little different than some guys getting into the UFC because you were the M1 Global Featherweight Champion of the world. M1 Global is not a small promotion; it's one of the bigger, well-known shows. But your first fight week in the UFC, everything's a little different. So your second time doing a fight week now. And obviously with the COVID stuff, it made it a lot different. What did you have going on in your head when you got into Jacksonville going into this fight week? What was going on? How were you going to approach it?
Man, the same, man. Just like you come up on any fight, it's about to be a fight, baby. We come in to fight. We flying here to fight. We staying the night to fight every day. I mean, it's like it's coming, and we just knew that it was going to be a great fight. It was Darren Elkins. I mean, the damage. He's man, he's been around for a while. Got like 14 wins. We're
Yeah,
talking about a solid guy. So we was it's just exciting to fight people that's respected. You know what I mean? So you get that respect. You feel me?
yeah. You need to get those name guys, on your resume because you want to elevate. You want to get the bigger names. You want to get the bigger paydays. You want to get the fights. You want to get the title. I mean, all that's coming down the road. But the fact that they gave you Elkins at this point in your career shows the respect they have for you coming over from M1 Global.
And I think,
That
yeah, I think I did it right, man. I think I built my, what they say. I got my bones. You know what I mean? I built it up from the ground. I've fought the best in the world, a real professional fighters for years, and I was ready, man. I mean, I had a little setback, got straight flatlined the first time, but that's how I fight, man. Kill or be killed, baby. Stop me or get stopped,
yep.
or we gonna just gonna keep fighting the whole time.
It's funny because I remember when you fought for us at the XFC so many years ago, and you were so wild. There was no containing you. We were talking when I saw you in Jacksonville about the whole Chris Wright fight, and you were following him around so much that he went to the commissioner to complain. This guy won't leave me alone. The commissioner said, "Well, go to your fucking locker room, and he'll leave you alone. You can't go to your locker room." But you've always had this attitude. And the one thing you told me back then was, "You will be in the UFC one day. You're going to bust your ass, and you're going to make it." And now you're two fights in, man. How does it feel? I mean, I know, and again, M1 Global is a huge show, but the UFC is different. So how does it feel now? You're two
Oh
fights
yeah,
in. How does it feel two fights in?
feel like it's my home, man. I feel like, man, it's I met everybody I needed to meet. I met everybody I needed to meet, and I mean, I just feel like it's going on, it's on the way up right from here on out.
So you got that big win. Um, did you get to talk to Dana White after? Like, did he say anything to you after you? Because you were showboating. I mean, you were having a good time. You cracked him with an elbow, and then you did a whoa. You just like stopped fighting for me, just whoa in the middle of the octagon, and then you threw your arm
Man,
behind your back and
yeah.
you were fighting with one arm. Tell us about all that. Was
And
that
I
planned
was
out? Was that planned, or was that just
no man, that
natural?
just I don't know. It just something happened, man. Something happened in me. Just having a good ass time. I mean, I was hitting him with these shots to just made his whole body just stop and go the other way. I mean, I was hitting him with some shots that some people would fall with, you know what I mean? Dude's a tough dude, and man, I would just started having a good time, and then I realized that it was echo, it was echoing, and I was like, man, Dana's right there. He could hear me, so I just ended up shouting out his name, Dana, and I was like, okay. It's like took advantage of my moment, man. I feel like I was heard by the people that needed to hear for sure, man. I did what I needed to do.
Yeah, we all heard you, and that's the cool thing about doing these fights right now is because we can hear you guys. We hear every punch, every crack of
There's
leather,
no distractions.
and there's
I
no
was like Dana.
distractions.
I was like Dana White sitting right there, nobody to talk to. He has no distractions. It's quiet as a mouse in here.
That's
I
why I
said,
love you,
shoot,
man.
let me go ahead and holler at him real quick.
But did you get to speak to him after? Did he say anything to you? Have you
Yeah,
actually
man,
had?
I seen him. Yeah, I seen him after in the hallway, man. We just was cutting up, man. It just was cool to just be in that atmosphere, you know what I mean, and set the tone.
What did he say to you? Did he say anything good about your fight and the way you were entertaining the crowd?
Oh yeah, man, he loved the shit, man. He was just loving every moment, man. He just was. He definitely is gonna remember my face and my name, man, for sure. I tell you that. And
Well, I
it
think
was
everybody
crazy
is.
to set. It's crazy setting that tone. And like we was at the we went took a shower and got dressed and whatnot. Went to the little downstairs to get some food at the hotel. We was watching the fights and was just like, you see that blood? That's me, baby. I did that. Look at that cage. Hey, that
That
was
was
me. You
you.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
we had a fun ass night for sure.
did you sustain any injuries of yours? I mean, he cracked you a few times and did some stuff. Anything hurt?
Nah, man. I mean, for the most part, I'm good. Good. Just For what it was, man, I came out really well compared to him. I mean, you could very much tell who won that fight. I mean, I'm looking pretty good.
Yeah, you look great. And a lot of people after the fight, some in the media, some of the fans, I chart all this stuff. They felt that you didn't win the fight. And I said to them all, what fight were you watching? You did the
Yeah, I
damage.
mean,
He might listen in round one. I think he got round one. I think he outstruck you a little bit, but the final two rounds, it
yeah,
was
I
all
believe,
it was all you.
yeah, I believe that it was. I believe he probably could take the first round. The first round was. I rewatched it. It was close,
It
but I
was
feel like, man, if you look at the stats, but you could look. But if you felt those punches I was hitting this man with compared to what he was coming back, he touched me more. I could say that, but
yeah,
I hit his ass a lot harder and a lot more flush. I mean, I was getting some clean shots off on him.
yeah. You definitely caused damage to the damage. Um, and I was sitting there watching, and you see all the blood. It's all over. It's on you. It's on him. And while I'm watching the fights, I live chat with some people. We discuss the fights, and somebody goes, "Look at all that blood on Nate. He's bleeding." I'm like, "Bro, relax. Nate is not bleeding at all. That blood is from Elkins." And then they towed you off after the second round, and they were like,
Yeah.
he messaged me back. He's like, "Oh shit, you're right. There's no blood of Nate's." I said, "The only
It
blood
was
on Nate."
weird spit. It was weird spitting out another man's blood out of my mouth. I tell you, man, this
uh,
shit was nasty. Yeah,
you just made me get sick to my stomach right now because I never thought about that, man. It's gross. Ugh. Oh man. Um, how's your team? Because I saw your team downstairs earlier that day when I saw you in Jacksonville. Um, how'd your team feel about how you did? Were they happy with your performance? Did your coaches give you any shit for like the showboat and stuff, or everything good? Because sometimes the coach will ride your ass.
man, man, bro, we was hyping between the rounds, man. What do you mean? We was hyped the whole time, and we just had a great time as a team, and I mean, as soon as we was done, we already ready to get ready for the next one. I mean, this is like we're trying to stay busy this year. Just think about it. It's only been 4 months since my last fight. I would like to fight again in the next 4 months or so. I mean, just keep racking them up. Be more familiar with it.
Are you ready for Fight Island?
Man, I would love Fight Island.
Yeah, you I saw something. You called somebody out. Who was the kid you called out?
um,
I'm pretty sure it's a Russian.
Moistov Efilov. Yeah, this Russian guy, he was a champion in M1. I beat last time I was in the Republic of Ingushetia over there in Russia. I fought his homie, and he was talking a little shit afterwards, like he wanted to fight. So we're both in the UFC now, so I think that would be a good one, especially for Fight Island. Bring in the
Yeah,
Russian.
yeah, because the international guys can't come to the states, but they can come to Fight Island,
Exactly. Might as well
and
fight somebody from outside. Yeah.
and the train can get it overseas. The train can go overseas because that thing floats right across the top of the water. Boom.
Yeah.
So, your wife and your family, what they think of your performance?
Oh man, they loved it. I mean, that's what I do it for. I do it for my little cousins and my little nephews. Man, they love that shit. The one arm behind the back. Oh, I'm sure they was just loving that, man. You know how the little kids are, man. I might as well be a damn superhero.
Yeah, and it's funny when you did that arm behind your back. I looked at my wife and I told her, I said, "Babe, I said, remember I told you about this kid how wild he was back in the days in Tennessee? I said, this is him. Once he gets out there, he starts getting into his groove. You just don't know what to expect, except for the good fight part. But there's other shit that could happen in a Nate Landwehr fight." And I said, "Look at him. He's throwing one hand. He's just like, whoa, whoa."
Yeah, man. I try to put on the most exciting fights I can, man. That's what I want to do. Good,
Yeah,
hard, exciting fights, man.
yeah.
Entertainment.
And you did. You entertained the crowd at home. You entertained the people in the building. It's funny because the commission and Dana and the UFC staff. When they panned around a couple of times, just to see some of the people out there, they were watching you. And when you did the one arm, they had a couple of videos of people going, "Look at this kid."
Man, it was crazy because nobody was distracted by anything else, bro. We had the full attention of the whole world, man, and it's cool, man. It was real cool.
Do you want to? you want to get back to the fighting in front of the fans. You want to hear the crowd roar and all that. I'm guessing, right?
Man, it doesn't matter to me. I'm sure if we on that fight island, there ain't gonna be nobody there. So I mean,
Nope.
I'm cool with that. But hey, my phone is about to die, I think.
Uh-oh.
Shit. I
You got
thought it
to
was
plug the
charged, but
you got the plug to charge it while we're talking.
yeah, hold on. Hold on 1 second.
All right, I'm holding. So, guys, while we're waiting for Nate to charge up there, you're watching Cage Out with Christopher James. We are talking with Nate to train Landwehr this evening. And when we get done with Nate, we're going to be talking to another guy, Jacob Kilburn. He's going to join us on the show after Nate. And then tomorrow night on the show, we're going to have Contender Series and Island Fight veteran Impa Chilobo Kasunganai. Thursday night, check this out. We got a doubleheader on Thursday as well. We're going to have Coach Oyama, Colin Oyama from Team Oyama. He spent the whole week in Jacksonville, had fighters on all three cards. He's the head coach of Carla Esparza. And guess what? Carla, the Cookie Monster Esparza, is going to join us on the show Thursday night as well. So the week is all filled up with great guests, and we're going to have a good time. But we're back right now. My man Nate's all plugged. You know, you're so electric,
I
dude.
got plugged in,
Hey,
man.
why couldn't you just put your finger on it and charge it up? Because that's how hype you are.
I hear that, man. I hear that.
So,
Man, it's been crazy.
yeah, I mean, have you sat back and thought to yourself about your days, like in
I
the
showed my ass,
XFC?
I showed my ass on the UFC on national television a couple nights ago, and I'm just chilling now. Yeah,
But have you thought about like from where you came from to get here? Do you think about that on a regular basis to keep yourself kind of chill and humble?
yeah. I
Because you
mean,
were,
that's the most important thing to me, man. That's what I always say. I never made an excuse. I never took a shortcut. I always took the hard path, man. I went straight, fought the hardest fight I could fight at the time. Went through Russia, earned my contract, got the real call. Man, see, I did it the right way. You see, I got knocked out and I came back immediately, man, and they gave me somebody good. So
yep.
you know that I did the right things before I got here, man.
Yeah, and like I said, the first two opponents they gave you, Herbert Burns and Elkins,
Solid.
solid. And again, that says to me that they respect your accomplishments overseas. It's like when Justin Gaethje came over from World Series of Fighting. They didn't give him like no slaps. They gave him Michael Johnson to start, and then look at all the fights he's had against top
Man,
dudes.
they respect the M1, man. M1's been around 20 years, major.
Major show. So you, Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez came over from Bellator. There's been a few guys that have made the switch that got good opponents to come in because you earned the respect of the organization before you ever signed the contract. And you're one of those cats, dude. And there's not a lot of you. Like I said, Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje. Who else? Who else came over from somewhere else and got a lot of respect coming in? I don't even know. It might just be the three of you. You know what I mean? So now you notched that first win. You wanted that kid you said from Russia, from M1, but is there any other names you're looking at to target right now? That
Man, anybody, it'd be
maybe
nice to what'd you
you,
say?
I was going to say because you took on Burns already and you took on Elkins. So to me, the kid you're calling out is kind of a step backwards because he's not on their UFC
Yeah,
level.
I just seen some rankings. Like look like they got me ahead of him. So I mean we could get anybody. It'd be nice to get somebody like 19, 18, 17, whoever. You know what I mean? I don't see them giving me a top 15 guy, but I might luck out, man. But I mean it's whatever it's whatever the UFC want. I feel like I impressed the matchmaker. So I feel like the
Yep,
matchmaker's gonna wanna give me a great matchup that's gonna be great for the fans. Somebody
yep,
that's a winner, somebody that's been there, done that. Two gangsters in there that's letting it rip.
yeah. I mean,
And
you're ranked like 33rd in the world. So you're not too far out the top 20. A couple other wins, and you're in that top 15.
I just dropped down. I think I'm like 26 or some shit like that, 25.
That's even better. See, you already made a little headway. So
That's
that's
what I'm
a
saying.
path.
Herbert's right underneath me since he beat me. I got him ranked higher now.
Yeah.
He went up in rankings because I won the other day. So
Because he beat
yeah, I
you.
was
So that's, yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. So
He should
like
send you
yeah,
a,
man. So there's actually a couple good guys in front of me, and then you start talking about some serious names, man.
yeah. He should send you a thank you card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
say,
sure.
hey, thanks for moving me up the rankings, bro. I appreciate it.
Fuck
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so do you want to get that win back eventually from him?
Hey man, yes. I mean, but it's whatever. It's one of the things. It's like, are you gonna go back on every fight? But man, I need to get that one back, man. I need to get that one back. No excuses. He's knocked me smooth out. If we come across again, I mean, I feel like I was just getting into my rhythm when he knocked my ass out, and just like Elkins, man, he took just like when Elkins took me down that first time. I mean, it looked, and I got back up. I stuffed every takedown after that. So I feel like the more the fight would have carried on, I would have started stuffing Herbert's takedowns too, probably. So, but hey, you never know because he knocked my ass out. But I mean,
I
it ain't no
love.
big deal to me, baby. I'm back. I'm back in a big way, and I mean, I feel like the UFC is gonna do me. I mean, give me something real nice.
Yep. You remind me of UFC welterweight Nico Price in the way your attitude is about the fight. Now, everybody wants to go in and win, but if you lose, you went in there, did your best, like you said. He smooth knocked you out. All right, you get back up, dust yourself off, bring on the next one. That's the same attitude Nico's always had, and you have that same thing, and that will carry you far in the octagon because you're like, all right, man, fight's over. I lost. I don't have to rehash it. I don't have to relive it. He beat me. Give
Yeah,
me the next
man.
guy. I mean, some guys get so hung up on the loss. You don't.
I just would never, man. I don't get hung up on my wins or my losses, man. I just keep going and never make a damn excuse ever in my life.
And you shouldn't, man. You've earned the right to, you've earned the right to be where you're at. You've earned the right to not make excuses. You just go out there and do it the train way, and the train way has worked for you. So if it ain't broke, right, don't fix it.
I hear that.
Yeah, man. So you got a couple of nice paychecks so far from the UFC. Your first one for the first fight. This one, and didn't you get a bonus on this one?
Nah, man, I ain't get
Who
the
got the
bonus. I ain't
bonuses?
get the
Courtney
man. I
Casey
was
got a
sure hoping to
bonus.
get that fight of the
Yeah,
night. I feel like I put a good performance for the I put my hat in for the fight of the night. We didn't get it.
that's all
Thought we
right,
should
man.
have got it.
I would have given you guys fight of the night. And definitely a contender for it. I mean, you guys did a hell of a job,
Shit,
dude.
we was
And
fighting. Yeah,
you bloodied the fuck out of that octagon, bro. It was fucking insane, man.
man. You see that elbow was some nasty shit, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that's why you went woo after, dude, because you knew you
Man,
just you just hit that shit, dude. That was so like perfect. I
bruh,
was like,
my shit hurts from that shit. Actually, man, it's
show it to us.
swollen. Can you see it? It's
Oh
not
yeah,
swollen too bad, but
it's a little bit. You can
man,
see
I
it.
cracked. Yeah, man, bro got a skull on him.
Yeah. So, I told you we weren't going to keep you too long tonight because I know you want to chill, you relax, you're getting home,
All
and
right, bet. Hell yeah.
but before I let you go, my next guest coming on, Jacob Kilburn. You and Jacob from Clarksville. Um, People always wondered why you guys didn't fight back, when you were in Clarksville, coming up on the regionals. Jacob is definitely going to come on after you, and he's going to call you out. He wants to fight. I put up a post about the interviews today that you guys were both on the show. There's been a lot of back and forth from your fan base, his fan base, but Jacob has been responding, and he's really been nothing but respectful toward you. He was happy. He said he cheered for you in your first fight, wanted you to get the win because at the end of the day, you represent Clarksville. Um, because some people go, oh, you probably cheered for him and you probably jumped up out of your chair when he got knocked out. And, he said he didn't. I don't know if he did or he didn't, but I do believe him when he said that he was happy for you to get to the UFC. And I do believe that he did cheer for you in your first fight. I don't know about this one, but he did say he cheered for you in the first fight because here you were, another guy from Clarksville that made it. And, Clarksville's not the tiniest town, but as far as MMA
Man, I
goes,
am not worried. Look, this is what I'll say about that. Look, it's
okay.
just like that old saying it's always said, baby. Winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners, bro. That's plain and simple, bro. I focus on winning. Seem like when I post some shit, he's on it. Like he thinking about me, baby. This is go back to that old saying, man.
Now, I spoke with your camp too when up in Jacksonville, and people say they want to see the two guys from Clarksville go. I get it, but they said you really don't have any interest in Jacob, and I don't know. Is it because you feel that at this point, what you've accomplished in M1, you've surpassed where he is? Um, is that the reason why? Because I know you're not afraid of any man. You'll fight anybody. If the UFC called you tomorrow and said they're booking this fight, you'll go fight it. Yeah, I mean that's who you are. But you don't really have any interest in it right now. So just tell us why.
Man, man, the thing is just that I'm sure he's good, man. But I mean, it's just one of them things. I'm not. It's. uh, I
Just be
mean,
honest, dude.
I
Be
just
real.
he's just lucky to be in the UFC, bro. Like for
Okay.
real, man. He won a lottery ticket, and it's fun and games and all, but man, it's not the same.
Okay. I feel you. Like I said, and nobody's going to get mad at you for being honest. You share your opinion. That's who you always been. You tell it like you see it. And so I appreciate you being straight up about it. Well, listen, brother, from somebody that's watched you come from the beginning to watching you get here now, and watching you in M1 and the things you accomplished over there, and you've achieved part of the dream. Getting to the UFC. The hardest part is staying in the UFC. And
Yeah,
based on
man.
what you
That's what we're doing, bro. We got one fight, get that next contract. We already in there. We're already too deep in this bitch,
too
man.
deep, yeah, man. You're 1-1, so you got to go out and get another good win, a signature victory. Hopefully against the name when they
Put
call
a
you up for that
stamp
next
on it.
fight.
For
Yeah, put a
sure,
stamp
man.
on it. Well, listen, man. And before you jump out, if you want to shout any sponsors out and tell the people watching tonight how to follow you on social media, because you lit the world up a little bit, and a lot of people don't know all your social media following. So throw it out there right now because there's a bunch of people watching, and let's help the train move
Yeah, man.
forward.
Just follow your boy, Nate the Train, man. It's only one. Nate the Train on everything. That's it. It's simple.
And you got any sponsors? Any things you want to shout out?
Yeah, man. Shout out Perfect Sports, man. They fuel me. They give me all my supplements and badass clothes. If you want to go there, and my management, Brian, with Sucker Punch, man. He got it going on. I mean, what's
He
good?
does. Did you
Yeah,
tell him happy
and my
birthday?
team. Shout out, yeah, man. And Veterans United, man, for my city, and yeah, that's it. And my team, Wildside, man, straight out Clarksville. You already know.
Well, yeah, I already know, man. Well, listen, man. I'm very happy. I'm in a way, I'm proud of you for doing what you said you were going to do, fighting your way into the UFC. You didn't take the easy road. You went overseas to prove yourself. You shined over there, and then you got the call. So, congratulations to you because you saw this 10 years ago when I met you, and you knew it was coming.
Hell yeah.
Um, some guys say it and they never get there, and then there's guys that I've met that said they were going and they got there. You, Owen St. Preux, Scott Holtzman. There was a lot of guys from
Yeah, man,
Tennessee.
solid,
Yeah,
yeah.
solid. Yeah. So
Solid
listen,
guys, yeah.
you enjoy the rest of your night. Oh wait, before you go, I forgot. I got to ask you about one fight. John Jones and Francis Ngannou. It looks like they're really going to try
I
to
want
make
to
this
see
fight happen.
it. I want to see it. I don't care who wins, but I want to see it.
But who would you pick to win?
I don't know, man. I don't care who wins, but I want to see that one.
I want to see it too. People would say I'm crazy for picking Jones, but just Jones has too much skill than Francis, and
I can
he's going to
see
be able.
that. I can see
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
but if Francis hits him like he
That's
hit
what I'm saying. I just want to see it,
Alex,
man. I just want to see it. I think the fans win.
oh, we all win with that
There'll
one.
be so much. There'll be so much electric, man. There'll be so much electricity around that fight, man.
If they book that one, you got to get on that card because I know you want to be in the building.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get on any big card against a good name, man. Anybody, really anybody in the top, look, anybody really they want.
Yeah.
UFC, let's get real. The UFC owns me. They gonna tell me who I'm gonna fight next. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. They own me, and they gonna tell me what I'm gonna. They gonna call me and tell me what I'm gonna do with my future. I mean, let's get real.
That's the truth. Well, listen, man. Again, congratulations on where you are because, like you said, like I reiterated, you earned your spot. Wasn't given. You fought your way there, and you always knew it was going to happen. So that's awesome, man. Congratulations on the big win the other night. Thank you for entertaining everybody the other night, man, and put on a show because you did. You stood out in the crowd that night, and there's a lot more where
Oh
that came
yeah.
from. We know there's a lot more where that came from. So Good luck when you get your next fight booking, man. Let me know. We'll bring you on. We'll talk about how you're going to beat that
All
guy
right,
up.
I bet.
All right. Listen, tell your
All right,
coach,
player.
tell your coach and everybody said hello, man, and it was good to see them as well. And
All right, man. Yeah.
peace. All right, boys and girls. So that was one interview down, and as you can see, the green screen behind me, the green wall, because the green screen is just, I don't know, it just doesn't want to cooperate today, man. You know, you pay for a service and you expect it to work. Oh, look, and now it works. How long will it last? I don't know. I'm not going to fuck with it. But we are now going to wait for our next guest to join us on the show. Where the hell is he? He should have been in the studio waiting already, man. Let me message him, tell him to get his ass over here. So hopefully he'll jump in. But like I said, tomorrow night, Impa, Chilobo Kasunganai, he was, see, there goes the green screen again. I just don't get it. This fucking shit is bullshit, man. Fuck you, Dell. This is all Dell's fault because Dell's fucking onboard camera sucks ball sack. So we're going to go back off the green screen because this is going to annoy the shit out of me. Unless I just keep my hand right here. If I keep my hand right here, it seems to work right. Don't ask me why, but this will get tiring after a little while. Jacob Kilburn is doing calisthenics right now, so that's fucking funny. That's Dean Toole, the man behind Island Fights. I love working for Dean. Dean puts fighters in the UFC. You know, so if you're a fighter coming up and you want to get there, then let's get there. But ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome him to the show. The one. Oh, wait, hold on. Gotta do this right. Ladies and gentlemen, from Clarksville, Tennessee, weighing in at 145 pounds, Jacob the Killer Kilburn.
They need to fire Bruce Buffer. They need to fire him right now.
What's up, homie? How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. We're down here in Coconut Creek, adjusting to the hot weather. I'm not used to it.
Yeah,
but we're doing good. It's okay though. Like I'm sweating more in my workouts, and I've always had a problem sweating, even in the weight cut. Like even in the sauna, it takes me several minutes to start sweating. And there's something about this Florida heat it doesn't take long at all. I start sweating fast.
It's the humidity, bro.
Yeah.
So you see right there on the screen, Dean Toole said Jacob Kilburn was doing squats.
Oh my goodness, he's got me on a squats.
Look, he's just going to keep dropping. First you were doing calisthenics, now you're doing seated dips. How do you not love Dean Toole, right? I mean, guy is just awesome.
There's a lot of people that don't. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's one of my favorite people for sure.
Yeah, I know he is, man. You guys have a love. Yeah, you love him. Look at that damn green screen thing fucking all up on me again, man. What the hell?
He calls me at midnight to make sure I'm doing my push-ups.
Oh, excuse me. I gotta turn this green screen off. It's killing me, man. So, oh wait, look, Jacob was doing push-ups.
You better believe it.
All right, so did you catch my interview with Nate?
Yeah, I caught like probably 15 minutes of it. I don't know how long you guys went, but yeah.
We started at 8:30, and I saved any conversation about you to the end because I was hoping you were going to be watching.
Right.
So, I want you first. I want you to clear some stuff up because I was reading some of the comments today on the post about this interview, and a lot of his team is crapping on you, saying that you're starting all this shit. Some of them have said you don't deserve to be in the UFC. You got there, like even Nate said, you got there on a lottery ticket. Oh man, that's funny, Dean. But you said something to one of the commenters about when Nate had his debut, you cheered for him. Now I know you, and I know how much you believe in God and religion and
right.
faith and Christ. So I believe you when you say that you actually cheered for him in his first fight.
Sure, of course.
Because Clarksville, it's Clarksville, and you want, at the end of the day, that's what you said it was all about. You both made it. But So tell us where this feud started. Because give us the backstory. How this all gets started? Where you guys are like cat and nail, going cat and dog with each other.
So, me and Nate actually don't have any problems. We've been very cordial. I've talked to Nate a handful of times. I made my professional debut on a card that Nate was main eventing. I was the co-main event for that. So I think we fought on one other card together. We've run into each other at the blood lab before. I was getting my blood work done. He was picking up his blood work. Again, you live in the same town. We have mutual friends. His head coach I used to train with all the time when he was first getting started in MMA. So, I mean, we don't have any problems. We've always been respectful to each other. So this has been a decade-long thing, man. Clarksville is 150,000 plus people.
Right.
A big town, and it borders Fort Campbell, which is, a whole nother. And there's a lot of soldiers, a lot of people that like MMA. There's a lot of people that live in Nashville but work in Clarksville, and they come through there. So we have over 200,000 people any given day that are in the city. And a long time ago, a guy named John Rankin started the gym. He started MMA in Clarksville, and another gym got started and opened up. And another thing on backstory, my coach from back home was one of Nate's training partners, and kind of, grappling mentors, years ago. Like, we just, our paths, just have never crossed in the training room or whatever. But and you know how it is. People get jealous when you start having success as a fighter. There's another fight team in town that's emerging. There's one of two ways you can approach this. Either, hey, let's cross train, or we need to shut them down. And they took the approach of let's get them shut down. A lot of shade was thrown. A lot of trash was talked. I've always been the target. There's been websites made dedicated to clowning me. They've made, oh my goodness, just all kind of stuff. That team that he's with has gone to, they make fake Google accounts and like Yellow Pages accounts and leave bad reviews about the gym, and just fake Facebook pages and like inbox people and all kind of weird stuff. And my name's always been dragged through the mud. Finally, a couple of years ago, we just kind of had our fill, and we had been called out tons of times by them, and I always thought it was kind of, like, I didn't want anything to do with the drama, but we finally accepted the fight. At the time, it was one of their striking coaches, Edward Massey. Nate was actually working the commentary desk for that fight. We fought. Massey, had a good match. I caught him with an overhand, put him out, like I have a lot of people.
Right.
And so, yeah, they've never liked me for whatever reason. I've never done anything to them. I've never gotten wrapped up in the drama until, recent years. Just, you get tired of it, so you start to stand up for yourself a little bit. But I never rude. I always try to clear the air, bring facts. But, so, yeah, as far as the backstory, that's it. For whatever reason, people decide to hate me. They make up stories and to make me look like the bad guy. But you can ask anybody around. It's laughable, some of the stuff I've been accused of over the years. And a lot of those guys have kind of been weaned out. Like I said, Nate's never been disrespectful to me. He's always been cordial. So, yeah.
So, what do you think of his comments then when he says that you don't belong in the UFC right now, that you're not on the same level?
Well, a lot of people share that same opinion. And I did get a lottery ticket. I got a short notice phone call. Chris Fishgold got injured. That was my lottery ticket. So he's not wrong in saying that. Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still there. Hang on.
Not wrong in saying that. I did get a lottery ticket, but it was going to happen eventually. I was knocking everybody out, not only in Tennessee and Kentucky, but in Florida. I literally ranked number 1 or number 2 in every state that I was competing in. I was scheduled to fight on the Contender Series. So my next fight was going to be under the Zuffa banner regardless. But Sean Shelby told me, or he told Abe rather, it's a long time before now in the Contender Series. So if somebody gets hurt, we're just going to go ahead and just let you fight right in the UFC. So we knew it was coming. It's not like some lucky thing that I won the golden ticket. It was going to happen. I was either supposed to fight for Contender or short notice. If someone got injured, it was either one. I just so happened to be injured when they called. Nonetheless, it was bound to happen. It's not like I got this golden ticket. I knocked out Davison Ribeiro and Glory veteran Javonis Ross to earn that shot after, my time on the Contender Series. So, as far as me not belonging in the UFC, people are they deserve to have their opinions. Up until a couple nights ago, a lot of people thought the same thing about Nate. So I really have to be okay with people having that opinion until I go get a win and prove to them, no, this is where I belong. And that's what I'm going to do. I mean, whenever that time comes, then people will have to close their mouths and go, okay, well, this guy can win. So, I mean, just look at my highlights. Like, anybody outside the UFC is getting knocked out. I mean, why wouldn't I belong in the UFC? So, people say what they have to make themselves feel better or whatever. But, I don't take that as trash talk. He's saying what he believes. And I did get a lottery ticket, man. I got to step in on short notice. I was supposed to fight Contender. Nonetheless, I would have won the Contender fight and then got a contract. Either way, I fought my way there. You can ask Dean Toole. He's the realest guy in the fight game. He will tell you I fought my way to the – so, Cole Miller pulled out of fights with me.
Absolutely.
I was ready. I mean, I don't understand, but yeah, man. So it's frustrating when people say things like that, but you have to give them a reason to not believe those things anymore. So until I get a win in the octagon, they'll have those opinions and they're allowed to. That's fine.
And I like the way that you said that. I think that's the best way to say it. The best attitude to have about it. Larry Downs Jr. says, "What's up, my fellow citizens?" Dean says, "Hey, Larry." And here's a comment. Laugh out loud at people doubting Kilburn. Hope he gets his opportunity soon. How's that make you feel?
That's kind of been the story my whole career. I was the underdog. You just go to Tapology and look at every single fight I've ever done. It's always like 90% of people pick me to lose. And I don't. So, it doesn't – a lot of people do doubt me. I appreciate the support. I will get my shot soon. I mean, we're under a pandemic right now, but I'm still training and, clearly pushing for matches. So, yeah, man, it's something you're used to.
Well, you've definitely stated that you want to fight Nate now. Explain to us why this is the right fight now.
So, again, it's not an animosity thing. And as far as the, winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners, he was in my inbox months ago training for his UFC debut, contacted me several times after both of my knockout wins, after the Ribeiro fight and after the Ross fight. He was in my inbox days after saying, hey, good job on the win, which, again, I also encouraged him and said, hey, congratulations on the UFC contract when I heard the news. So we've been cordial to each other. But he was the one asking me to come train. Hey, we're doing some training. You're welcome to come, whatever. So as far as people focusing on somebody else and spending time, he's the one that's been in my inbox trying to get me to come to the practice room when I was fine with what I had going on. Like I didn't, and you can play it under the banner of, he was trying to help me, but everybody in that training room over there doesn't like me. The only reason that the inbox would have been happening is, well, he told me straight up, we're just going to get Clarksville's top talent together in one room, no team name, and I was down for that, except those training sessions weren't going to help me any because I was getting better work where I was at. So why do I want the fight now? It honestly has zero to do with where he's from or where I'm from. I just happen to come from the same town and know him. It's just the best fight for me in the division stylistically. It's no secret I'm here at American Top Team fixing my holes and improving. But until then, I have to keep my job. I'm just going to be as transparent as possible. Nate's the best fight for me in the division. Where as I'm continuing to improve and evolve during that process, I don't feel like I need to learn something to be ready. I don't feel like I need a training camp to be ready. Nate's just a guy that kind of is bred for me. And so I need to win. I need to get paid. But I also, before they match me with Division I college wrestler who's going to blast double me every 30 seconds, give me somebody like Nate who's going to be an exciting – can you imagine – Darren Elkins wasn't really able to hang with him as far as the kickboxing goes. He kept trying to shoot takedowns.
Right.
Imagine me and Nate. How exciting is that going to – until somebody falls, it's going to be the best fight you've ever seen. So clearly I'm confident. Otherwise I wouldn't be requesting the match. And I've never talked trash or hey, you know what? I commented one time when the fight was booked, him versus Elkins. I said, hey, call me if Elkins pulls out. Because I was letting him know, like, hey, you're going to get the fight. You're going to get paid no matter what. I'm here, ready. Don't need a training camp. I will save your match. Everything's going to be good. If something happens with Elkins, call me. I'm in Florida, right down the road. I'll be there.
Yep.
And he took it as, meet me in the street. Send me your location. This, that, F you, blah, blah, blah. And out of left field. And so that kind of started a fire because that, came out – maybe he received it the wrong way. But either way, it's a good fight for me. And so that's the one that I'm most interested in. There's other guys.
Sure.
Sean Woodson, Jordan Griffin, guys like that. But I like the Nate fight,
Well, let me show you a couple of comments that have popped up.
Okay.
Dean said, you definitely fought your way in.
What does Dean know? I mean, his profile picture is only with him hanging with legends. What does he know?
Yeah. But he said, you took your Contender Series as a loss. You went back to fighting, got 2 wins, got to the UFC because of winning.
Sure.
So that's the way you're supposed to do it. Yep. Hang on a second. Let me.
And having said that, I would have done as many fights as I needed to. If I needed to get 6 wins, I would have got 6 wins. I just got the call. But I was determined to just keep winning until we got the call, just like Nate.
Right.
Go fight until somebody calls you. It took me way less fights. And if you look at if you want to do the homework, open up my opponents and look at the guys they fought. My opponents have wins over people that have winning records. And a lot of the people he fought in Russia, they had winning records, but the guys they fought were all 0-1, 0-0. So you can fight a guy with a winning record, but if his winning record is a padded record, I've gone deep and done the research on both sides. I worked my way in just as much, if not more.
All right. So, and you can still hear me good?
Yes.
Okay. I was trying the backup camera, the backup laptop to see if I get everything right. It was a little weird.
Gotcha.
All right. So, Sean Wells says Wild Side Spars every Friday, 5 to 8. Come join us, bro. I knew somebody was gonna get you one.
So they've always had an open invitation to come spar with us, though. They're technically breaking the governor's orders and breaking the law. So I'm not going to, for where they're at in Tennessee, I would not go. Yeah, they're participating in illegal activity, which is pretty routine for that whole team doing illegal things. But I'm in Coconut Creek, Florida, training with American Top Team. Tomorrow morning, I'm training with King Mo. I don't need to go back to Clarksville to do a sparring session with high school wrestlers. I'm here with Barboza. Last night I was at ATT with Jorge Masvidal. I don't need, I'm doing So, I appreciate the invite. If I'm ever back in town, we're in the UFC now. Sure, I'll come by and say hello. Like, that's fine.
So, you said the Nate fight really interests you, but on to the show comes Derek Minner, another new face in the UFC, and he said both of you seem like a good fight for him. He's new in the octagon too, so kind of the same spot where you are. So, would you entertain that fight?
I don't know anything about him. Congrats on getting to the UFC, Derek. It's freaking cool. We've worked our whole lives for this. Anybody that they call me with, I would obviously not say no. Kind of like Nate said, the UFC owns you. What are you going to do? Say no, Dana White? I would not like a fight in the UFC. Of course, you're going to say yes to whoever they call you with, but closed mouths don't get fed. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of fights that sound good to me that I would be interested in, but that's the fight that, that I really think, man, that would just be a good one. As far as Derek goes, Derek or whoever else, of course, I would say yes to anybody. So
yeah,
I'm training with killers. It's never going to be. It's going to be easier, no matter who it is.
So after Derek Minner posted that comment, here comes the fun. Michael Davis goes, oh, and then Sean Welsh. I guess he's replying from Nate's camp. Says to Minner, Nate said you ran from him, so maybe we'll have to address that with a comment. Cody Shelton says fight would be entertaining for sure, and both guys without a doubt deserve to be in the UFC. And then Sean Walsh is just laughing. Those are the comments we got going on right now.
I don't know who Sean is, but he's been blowing up my social media. Oh man! Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm guessing he trained with the guys at Wildside because he's the one who said Wildside spars every.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of guys that also just like come and watch and they don't train. So like, there's literally a group of people that, and we have that at our gym too. They just respect fighters and they just want to go watch them train, but they don't get out there and do it too. So
gotcha.
I don't know. I've never heard of Sean.
Well, Derek Minner says he's got 35 pro fights in 7 years. He's never turned down a fight. So hey, you should look him up, dude. It would be a good fight, actually. I'm thinking about the styles. Cool. Yeah, be a good fight.
Welcome to the club, man. That's what fighters do is they don't say no. Usually real fighters are the ones that everybody else is turning down fights on and pulling out of. And, so if he is who he says he is, I'm sure that he's had a lot of people pull out on him in the past and he's always saying yes. And it kind of gets to the point where you're like, yeah, I don't even care who it is. Just please, I'm tired of training for nothing. Give me a date and opponent. Don't even tell me who it is. Just make sure they show up. So, it would be the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to transition off you and Nate because I think we pretty much everybody that didn't know the story of why and now why you want to fight him, why it makes sense for you. Now you guys know. I want to ask you something about John Jones stepping up and really what seems like a full-on pursuit of Francis Ngannou. It's such an impressive move. Daniel Cormier even came out today and said, how do you not respect that? He goes, I'll talk shit about John Jones every day, but I can't not give him credit where credit is due. And this is a gangster move on John Jones to enter the heavyweight division against the most feared knockout guy in the division right now. So do you think Jones is serious? Because I honestly do. He's never been this active about moving up to heavyweight, and this would be a huge payday fight. Let
me tell you exactly. First of all, I think John Jones wins that fight. Unless Ngannou catches him with, and Ngannou's punching technique is really awful. I mean, the clubbing, he's got the world star hip hop boxing, but John Jones beats him. He's just more skilled. But I'll tell you exactly what that is. That's a power move by John Jones because the second DC comes out and says, look, if Stipe is dragging his feet, I will go ahead and fight Ngannou for my retirement fight. The next day, John Jones comes out and goes, hey, I'll fight Francis. Like, he just wants to take whatever he can away from Daniel because of their disdain for each other. I see that as him just stealing the opportunity from Daniel. So even if Daniel and Ngannou do fight, it doesn't mean anything because John Jones can say, well, I did it too and more impressively. So
never looked at it like that. Oh, man.
That's what I think is going on. The second DC says it, the next day John Jones starts going after Ngannou at heavyweight. I think it's him just trying to steal DC's thunder because that's a power move. But I think Jones wins that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you were just listening to Jacob Killer Kilburn on Theories of Fights Happening. I like it, dude. That was good stuff, man. It was
Cool.
actually well thought out, dude. Because I didn't think of that. I just figured, Jones said, I want to go to heavyweight. And after, some of the stuff he just went through recently, and he's beat everybody down there already, but there's no real challenge for him there. I thought it was the perfect time for him to make the move. And if he's going in, he's going big, I guess. That's fucking nuts, man. So, what was your thoughts on all three cards that went by this last week, man, that the UFC put on?
Fantastic thing for the sport. We were talking about that the other night. They should do that more often. They can pull that off, particularly – I mean, they do it International Fight Week where they pull off 3 events in a week. They've just done it again, pulled off 3 events in a week. You can do that. Like book a venue, run something on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, or whatever it is. Run that and then do meet and greets and stuff in between. The more thought I've given it, I like it. I think it's cool that MMA was the first sport to come back after this crazy stuff. I thought it was super smooth. Obviously the testing works because they caught Jacare in his corners.
Yep.
So everything was safe. And
I don't want to say they caught him. I want to say they discovered it. You just made it sound so bad. They caught him doing it, man.
He had corona.
Corona.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, man. It's a good time to be an MMA fan and an MMA fighter because that means there's still work going on. Nate can attest to that because he fought during the pandemic. So hopefully, me and him on the island. But yeah, like it's cool that this is going on still.
All right, and just to be clear, Derek Minner commented, goes, "Hey, not being disrespectful, my man. I'm just ready to fight ASAP. LOL. Just like you,
Yeah, no, I didn't take it as any disrespect. Yeah, I'm sure he's a good guy, and if they sent me the contract, I'd sign it without even YouTubing him. So yeah.
You want me to tell you how cool this Derek Minner guy is? I set up an interview with him, right? And the interview I did with him was while he was in the hospital, the day that his daughter was born. And awesome. He came on the show. He held the baby, saying happy birthday to her. It was a really cool moment, dude. This guy,
that is cool.
You know what? You guys would get along.
Yeah.
Before
I'm
before
easy.
the fight. Yeah, you're easy. But he's just a chill kid. He's like, I'm in the UFC. I had a baby. And then he came on the show. I was like, that's a cool dude, man.
Yeah, I like him. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe we'll have to have you guys get together and have lunch or something. I don't know, man. We'll set something up. I'll have his people call your people and everybody.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yada yada yada. But historic event, three cards. I don't think we're going to see. I mean, maybe during the pandemic time, we might see a couple more weeks like that because they're going to want to try to get caught up on the events that they have to deliver to ESPN and for ESPN pay-per-view. So we might see some more of that. But I right now, you can't do the meet and greets. You can't do any of the fans around. You have to do it this way, and it's straight business. I mean, and maybe after when we come back, maybe we have a fight week like that. It'd be cooler when they come back, have the octagon set up in 3 cities on one night, and just go fucking nuts.
How would you watch that? You just have to pick which fights you're interested in?
Split screen, triple screen, pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They can do just like I'm sitting here talking to you. They can do this on TV with the stream, so they can have fight here, and you can have the option to make one of the fights bigger, or smaller. There you go. That would be epic. That would be pretty cool. 3 fights going at the same time from 3 different locations, like Las Vegas, New York City, and Fight Island.
I like it.
The last fight on Fight Island and the first 2 back in the stage where people, where we can come back. That's the one to do it. All right, I'm in.
Sweet.
I'm gonna call Dean, tell him to talk to Abe, get you on that card.
I like it. I like it a lot. That's cool.
So, other than all the fight stuff, how you and the family doing adjusting down to South Florida besides the weather?
Really good. Obviously you're not able to go out and do a lot. It's just been grocery runs and training, and a little, maybe a jog down to the lake or something like that. But we've just been homebodies, kind of that way anyways. So,
Yep.
but it's nice. It's cool. I run by a bunch of palm trees every day, and all the lakes have fountains blowing up even through the night. It's cool. They have Publix on every corner and Dunkin' Donuts, which gets me in trouble. But yeah, I love it. It's a cool place for sure.
I'm glad that you're adjusting to the Florida lifestyle.
Right.
A good old country boy coming down south of Florida. It's where you're at is kind of like city country. And once you get yourself situated, you get more money coming in. You can move out to a little town called Davie.
Okay. Well, we've been fishing and everything here. I mean, it's been
You can do it all.
it's no. You're just fishing for different types of fish now. But it's yeah, for sure.
Well, listen, man. Always a pleasure to talk with you. I'm glad you came on and that we were able to discuss the Nate Landwehr thing. You told me some really interesting stuff that I didn't know about the websites and the Facebook pages and all that
I'll
stuff.
tell you more offline later. Some of it's so awful. I had to get private investigators and the sheriff's department to shut it down because it was defamation of character, and some of it was affecting minors. That was it was so bad. And even if certain people didn't participate in it and weren't guilty of it, if you're teammates with people that are like that, you condone their behavior, which means you're guilty by association. So as far as I'm concerned, whether you did it or not, you are it's the same for me. If you condone those type of people who do those type of things, you've just made me an enemy. And not that I'm going to go do anything, but just doesn't mean I'm going to trust you to come train with you when I know that you're doing those type of things.
Yeah,
anyways,
I get it.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Do you not eat meat?
No, I haven't for 2.5 years.
All right, then Dean said you can't live in Davie if you don't eat meat. But he's right, because that's a cowboy town, man. You got to eat beef when you live there.
Dude, every other text from Dean is carnivore diet. Just whatever.
Oh man, I tell you, man, that's got to be funny stuff. Well, listen, man, got any sponsors, any coaches, anything you want to shout out before you dip? It's all you.
As far as coaches go, shout out to Steve Bruno. He's helped me a lot since we've been here. Just taking me under his wing, and whether we're at the gym or at his house, just even during the they're making it difficult to get into the gym right now unless you're on contract. So we're doing what we can, but has really just taking really good care of me. Sponsors, shout out to Brothers in Business Roofing, Clarksville Gutters, and Still Nutrition, the Grow Fellas, and Harris Hope Martial Arts Academy. Everybody that supports me, and even the haters, because you help me, you help Cade Side with Christopher James. You're just putting tons of web content out there. Appreciate your comments. So,
Kyle Tyler Tetley says hi and I love you, bro.
Hey, that guy right there could tell you some stuff on the inside. He trained with the other team, didn't like it, had some bad experiences, came over to train with our team. So if anybody knows the inside stuff that really goes on, it would be Kyle, because he's seen both sides. Anyways.
All right. Comment on the screen from Dean Toole. Best wings in the world in Davie, Florida.
Cool.
So this Jenny Savage said this is sad. She thought higher of Kilburn, but not after this fabrication.
What did I fabricate? I don't understand.
And then she always respected you, so as many others from our team. So
yeah, I have respect for her too. She's always been nice to me. I've been nice to her. There's a lot of people on that team that I have respect of, but maybe she's ignorant to some of the things that have happened because she's one of the relatively newer fighters. But again, I've been at this for 15 years and involved in the sport, and this stuff's been going on for a decade. So she just might be clueless to it, honestly, and maybe she didn't participate in it. But
of course, that's not her. If she doesn't know about it, it's not her fault because she wasn't around.
Of course, and I haven't said anything that wasn't factual. So, yeah.
All right. And she said she just commented that she's been around for 7 years. So
it's going on long before she started. So I've got it documented on a hard drive, screenshots of every single thing from Facebook, Google, YouTube, you name it, in case I ever need to have a lawsuit for defamation of character. I've got it all documented even before Jenny was involved in the sports. So, when I was in high school, these people were attacking me. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a long
Weird.
time.
Weird stuff, man. Very strange.
Well, listen, man, as always, man, I love chatting with you. You're one of my favorite guys.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Nate. I watched Nate come up through the exit.
So do I. So do I.
I listen. I believe that you care about him. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you think of him as your best friend, but I do know that you're not that hateful guy. Even sometimes when it might be beneficial for you to be, but that's on you, and I understand why with your testimony. So I get it. But I love Nate. I love you. I watched you come through with Island Fights and make your way into the octagon. I watched Nate from the XFC days. When he was really a wild man, dude. He was crazy back. He's still crazy. I love him.
Yeah.
But
I was a fan. Hoping to get there. Something like so. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I actually think I think I announced his first pro fight, if I'm correct. I don't remember. It was his first or second. But he won a tryout with Tim Loy's promotion. He won an XFC fight.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. So, but yeah, man, I got a history with both you guys, man. You're both good people. I'd like to see the fight. That's just me. I think it'd be a good fight. But whatever happens. If you get the fight, you get the fight. If not,
sure.
If not, my man Derek Minner said he ready for a fight. So fuck it, we'll just book that one.
Right. Yeah, it's not hard to find a fight in the UFC. It's gonna happen. But I figured why not just go ahead and ask, like, respectfully, first to Nate. And
Sure.
I haven't gotten an answer. The only thing I've gotten is, well, fight me in the street, But just ask for it. Closed mouths don't get fed. Hey, this is a match I'm interested in. I think it would be really good. I think the fans would like it. Has zero to do with where we're from, but only stylistically. I've talked to it. The coaches here like it. It just so happens we're from the same area. But as far as me feeding my family, I need wins in the UFC. That's the fight I need. And that's not disrespectful. That's just I just think that's a good fight for us. Anyways.
I don't see it being a bad matchup because you're both standing banging. That's the good stuff, man. That's what people want to see. So, well, listen, I hope you have a great night. Tell your wife I said hello, man. Glad that you guys are acclimating to South Florida. Don't move to Davie because you don't eat meat. Dean, where should he move though? If he's not going to move to Davie, because I know he's just got settled, but he's going to make some good money here, and then he's going to want to move a bigger place. Where would you recommend him to move, Dean Toole? And I'm from South Florida. I lived there a long time, so I'm going to see what Dean says, and I'm going to give you a recommendation of my own before you dip out.
I'll move into Dean's house, one of his bedrooms.
Well, that's a long trip to commute to training camp every week.
That's true. Yeah, hey man, whatever it takes.
I mean, it's 10 hours. Well, you know what? A flight. Just book a flight.
Right, of course.
Dean will pay for it.
Probably.
He probably would. Dean might just learn how to fly and get his own plane, and then
He's offered to fly down here and have lunch with me before, so.
That's Dean. Dean will do that. He can't drive down there anymore because he'll try to get there in 4 hours, and it's a 9-hour trip.
Yep.
Man, I love the dude though. I working with him, I've met so many cool guys, and but I've watched what a promoter's supposed to do. And a promoter's supposed to invest in his fighters, find the cream of the crop, and then help them navigate the path to get to that level where they want to be.
Right.
And that's just it. And he does. He doesn't look for accolades. He doesn't look for glory. I'm sure he'd like his shows to make a little more money, because you want to make shows. But his first concern is you guys. That's since I've known him, and that's why I like working with him, and because he does that, man. So many guys are going to get to the UFC. So many have already gotten there from our show, and it's only going to continue, man. So we get back to life. I can't wait, man. Listen, I can't wait for your next fight. Your next fight announcement. Get that first win in the octagon, no matter who it's against, man. We in your corner, bro. You Island Fights family. Mi familia for life.
That's
for
right.
life. Yeah. David Van Auken just popped on. He says Waymaker.
That's his nickname for me. That's right. You gotta if there's not a clear path, you gotta make your own way. And
That's your nickname?
Yeah, that's what he calls me. So
I like it. I like it.
yeah,
Nice.
we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep making our own way, keep making our own path, and knocking anybody down that gets in the way. Doing it all in Jesus' name. That's the most important thing. So,
amen, brother. And I know when you say that comes from your heart, man. It's not. I'll just say sometimes some athletes pull that out, and they don't really,
right.
they don't represent it. You represent it. I'll just say it like that. So, you stay your path, because that's the right path. And
of course.
And all the love from the heart. Be well. Stay safe.
Appreciate it.
And we will talk to you soon. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for being honest about your side of the story. And as always, the killer Kilburn. Oh, wait, let's do it out the right way. Ladies, hello. Where'd it go? That's why. I had the wrong button on. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, he is the man himself. Training out of Coconut Creek, Florida, American top team, weighing in at 145 pounds. It's the one and only Jacob the Killer.
Good stuff.
I love it, man. Be well, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your night, man. God bless you, brother.
All right. Good to see you, man. Bye.
Always good to see you. Hey, guys, that was Jacob Kilburn. Told some crazy stuff about Nate's camp, but he made it clear that it wasn't really Nate that was doing it. You don't want Nate to think they accused him of anything, and he was really clear about that. It was people at the gym. And he said he's got documentation to back up everything he said. I haven't seen any of it. I don't know. Shout out to my man David Van Auken, father of 4, got 2 baby girls, run Fight Bananas. Fight Bananas doing all kinds of cool things. Make sure you check them out, man. They're family. So, show them a little love. And tomorrow night on the show, Impa Chilobo Kasunganai is going to join us. Island Fights Bet Contender Series alum. He's going to join us tomorrow night. On Thursday night, we're going to have a couple of more guests. Thursday night, we're going to have from Team Oyama, the man behind the team, Coach Colin Oyama, going to join for the first time on the show. Talk about the whole fight week. He had fighters on all 3 nights. His fighter, Cheeto Vera, my opinion, got screwed out of a decision. Didn't like it, but it happens. So, but he's going to be on the show to talk about the whole fight because, like I said, he was there for all of it. And Carla, the Cookie Monster Esparza, the former UFC strawweight champion, the first UFC strawweight champion. She's going to join us on the show on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Right? Oh, yeah, that's good. So make sure you check that out. And then Friday, no show. But I might have something special coming up on Saturday for you guys as well. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of my life today and let me be a part of yours. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out my website, mymmashow.com. Check out my friends. Like I said, if I've been asked too many good folks down there, you know. Anyway, until next time, I am Christopher James. You're up in Cage Side. So we are going to, hit it and party on down and, gonna get the hell out of here. So you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.